Triple H. Hunter Hemsley. Man. H. It's been a long time watching H come up, man. Watching H back in WCW. I remember he used to dress up, have his hair back like he was from England or Scotland, like he was from Pirates of the Caribbean or something. One of them British guys with what's his name? Lord. He had that Steven Regal. Lord Steven Regal. And they had that whole British persona going on. And they didn't see H's potential at WWE. It wasn't really, I mean, WCW. It wasn't really working out. And the gimmick was with the French accent and all that stuff. And that wasn't really working out. So, with that being said, it just kind of went to the wayside. But he always had the physique, big guy, and that just gets Vince attention. And then he saw him wrestling Starcade over in WCW, and he was like, I want to get this guy. And H has always been a staple of the company. He's been everything Vince wanted him to be. Sorry about that. Weather changing out here. But H has definitely been what Vince wanted all along. Somebody who's down with him no matter what. And H and Shawn Michaels, those two never left. So when they decided to go to WCW and they all did that hug in the ring, and those guys end up leaving, Scott Hall and Nash, and they just, it ruined a lot. Then Degeneration X was formed, and then X Pac ended up going over to WCW, and it was must see TV every night. You had NWO going up against Degeneration X, and Degeneration X was winning over the fans because not only did they have monologues, they also were doing skits. Their skits and then their wrestling matches were better. Where WCW, they were suffering in the wrestling department. And they were just worried about basically just skits and props, and the wrestling part of it suffered. And that's how WWE was able to gang on them and come back and eventually overturn them. So they had the names, but the matches were greater over in WWF or WWE at the time. So everyone else who was linked or around Triple H Anybody that was close to him, like Shawn Michaels, Vince brought him into his family. Like Stephanie started dating him, and that that went a long way. And he's always a company man. He's the snake, the go back, tell Vince what's going on, anything he might have heard in the locker room. He's totally business first. Now, everybody might have heard he just had a heart procedure, a little heart surgery. They tried to make it sound real minor, but it wasn't minor. He had artery damage based on what he had went through. I believe in a match where he torn one of his pectoral muscles and had to have surgery on it. Yeah, that's fun. So after tearing that muscle and having to go through such a rigorous procedure, they found out that something wasn't right with his heart, where the arteries were, and he needed to have a operation effective immediately to correct this procedure or correct the state that he was in. Now, many feel he was one of the people who were, taking enhancements at the time to improve his body physically. And at the time, this was a red herring. It was not really frowned upon that much. So people would showcase their bodies and all of these different things. Now, H has gotten all this power. He's running the show with Stephanie, and things are changing. Like things backstage that used to go on at the shows are not going on anymore. There's no more development of characters that you've known and loved from back in the day. That's not there anymore. And they're losing to AEW. And this is putting people like Triple H back in the ring like 50, 60 years old. It's like, wait a minute, this is going backwards. Nobody's moving forward. Why is Vince allowing this? So he's just like confused about the whole situation. And H, these storylines have been terrible from Raw. And it's like, since they've, been together and running it, I can't really think of anything they've done that's really worked. So, hmm. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Just saw something I didn't like. So I got to go ahead and address that now. But don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the page. It's your boy Carcino here saying God bless all of you. Okay? That's it. That's all. Oh. Almost forgot to tell you what this really means. The heart procedure, they tried to alter it, and instead of calling it a heart attack because he was having cardiac problems. They said heart procedure because if he has a heart attack, it's going to be hard to put him back in the ring. Since Vince is losing money hands over fists, they're riding on names to keep the company afloat. So they're using the name still just to continuously make money and keep pushing forward. So they're bringing back every dinosaur legend they can. They're going to go dig up Undertaker. They're going to dig up anybody they can to push the company forward. There's no more any development right now what's going on. They're trying to deal with the AEW wave that's going on because AEW has the money and Vince doesn't have the energy really to go up against that. Normally, another company, wrestling company, would come out. Vince was big enough to crush it. It's similar to what UFC was doing to any other MMA company who tried to go up against it. But then when Bellator from Canada came out, they had the money, they had the power, they had their position. Dana was in no longer in any position to go up against it. So now the legends or stars and people who want to really get paid, they go someplace else. They're like, I can go get money in Bellator. And that's where they'll head. So when people have options, that puts you in a very vulnerable situation. But H has always remained loyal. That's why he's Vince's son-in-law. You know, this is exactly who he wants to be the head of the company. That's why he never let him lose to Scott Steiner. Like, you're never going to lose to him. You're going to be the champion, and you're never going to lose to this guy. He's never going to hold the belt over you. So, H is also a person that could sell it. You know, the game, his matches with The Rock, Stone Cold, you know, legendary. But all of those talents were developed. There's a good system in place. But now most of those people who knew how it was really done and the way it's supposed to be, they're gone. And nobody that's wrestling now wants to hear from the older guys. They all think they got it figured out at 20 and 21 and 22. And this is their break, and they don't want anyone in the way. So, watching wrestling now, it's starting to suffer a lot with the especially WWE. It's really suffering. I mean, once they started this, we're gonna do drafts to move wrestlers around from SmackDown to Raw. I knew it was over. That was the beginning of the end. Some say it was before that, but for me, I saw it right then and there. So, anyhow, I'm going to get up out of here. I don't want to hold you guys very long. Thanks for y'all attention. Don't forget to like the video. My Cash App is Carceno, Karceno. And God bless again. I'm out.